What up, everybody? This your boy Chris Hubbard.
And it's your boy Big Struggle AG. Back at it again with another episode of Brotherhood, the podcast. Season 2.
What it do, my brother?
Glad to be here with you, my friend. You're glowing, looking great.
Come on, man. The sun is shining.
That's it.
What do you ask for, bro? Like,
man, listen, it is a great day. But before we get into this episode, I want us to start with our quote of the day. And my brother, I want you to go ahead and take it.
Yeah, man. So we got a quote of the day, right? I hope you guys are ready for this one. This one deep, man. This one goes heavy. We got shame and silence. Suffering is relatable, so why do we keep in the dark? Isolation breeds isolation. The cunning strategies people use to gaslight others create paranoia, anxiety, and fear. What's worse than not being able to decipher between your own memory and imagination? Has manipulation become the norm?
That was great. Who's that by?
This quote of the day comes from, one of our special guests today. And I'm gonna let my brother take off on it, man, because he does it. The drum roll, please, man. We got somebody.
Let's get it. The DJ, the activist, the poet, Yelda Ali. Let's get it. Hey! Let's go,
guys. Thanks for having me.
Yes, welcome. So tell us who you are. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Yelda Ali. Who am I? This is a really funny question. I actually have spent 6 years creating circles around the world for women to answer this question. And we create these spaces where there's one rule, and the rule is don't share what you do, share who you are. I am Afghan, proud Afghan. I come from Toronto, where I grew up. Been in New York for about 12 years. And, I think that everything I do, whether it's DJing or poetry, I'm just community focused and invested in community. And so I create these different outlets and vessels to bring my community together.
Your book, the Reads Outlet, right?
All right. Yeah. So I put this book out at the end of 2020 and I sort of just let it naturally ripple through my community. Really, really, really thankful for the support that it received. And now as the world is reopening, I'm being a little more intentional about creating spaces where I bring communities together to talk about mental health. This, again, is a vessel. So what we'll do even today is we'll use this as a guide, but the conversations, obviously, as we know about mental health, they're necessary. And especially right now, as everyone's coming back together, re-entering society. So I think it's perfect timing. And I'm really grateful to both of you for valuing this conversation and making space for this conversation.
Absolutely.
It's important. Super important to the both of us.
Yeah,
absolutely. Extremely important. And I think in our communities, oftentimes we're so used to having to be strong that our weak moments are looked at as weak, when really when you talk about it, that's a strength. When you're able to dig deep and really talk about the traumatic things that we go through and deal with, I think that's an extreme strength, and I want to keep growing. We want to keep growing on that, because without these conversations, people are just left to kind of just be in their emotions, and that's not always good, because you start to lash out sometimes. Being in. So yeah, the title of your book reads Outlet, horizontally, and let out vertically. Can you explain how you came up with the name and the concept?
In the space of mental health, I started this project in 2017. It had an entirely different name while I was running through the project. By the end of it, it was sort of the last part of the book that I had decided on, and it was in 2020. And when you think about these mental health combos, right, we're all sharing sort of the same shiny keywords: trauma, PTSD, inner child. There's all these words we're all coming to, and I felt like this word was missing. Outlet. Oh yeah, do I have one? I need one. Those questions, you start moving energy. You start moving your body, you move your voice, you move your ideas. All of those things are antidotes to depression and anxiety and these things.
For sure.
That is deep, man. A lot of people are stuck not finding their outlet. So they're stuck in one position, man, and not being able to showcase their true values in life.
Not even knowing they need an outlet.
So let me ask y'all, okay, so we're talking about outlets. I can honestly say now that I am more mature, and I know I can kind of see things different from being in the field. What are some of y'all outlets that have been toxic? Because I think it's important for people to understand that, you know, having an outlet is good, but it has to be the right outlet for you. Like for me, when I listen to music that is about what I've been through. And so it's kind of like, it's like a circle. It's like I'm trying to use this as a healing mechanism also, but I'm using it because it's my comfort level. Right. So what are some for y'all?
Whew, bro.
Yeah, I'm coming with it today.
You know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? Because man, me and you tied together, bro. So that's the same thing. I do the same thing as well, and it's not good, bro. Like, I'm sorry to like take what you said, but it's. I be stuck in moments like, man, like I'm listening to what I've been through, and I'm trying to figure out like, is this healthy for me, bro? That I'm listening to it. So now, like, I found another mechanism to turn to reggae. Like reggae, man, listen to the instruments. You know what I'm saying? Listen to what they're saying, like the lively vibrations. I listen to a lot of Bob Marley, bro. You know that, but
for sure.
Just listen to Bob Marley, man, kind of helped me cope with a lot of things, man. Because now that I've started listening to him, this might sound crazy, but I'll go out here and like sun gaze, take my shirt off, put my feet in the grass, and just sit on my little rock back there and just chill.
Yeah, funnily enough, actually DJing is the perfect example of, you know, I never started DJing to become a DJ. I was going through a divorce and I needed to move my energy. And so I really was DJing in my home for years before I started doing it publicly. So
what's your favorite genre to play being a DJ?
Good question.
Hip hop.
Okay. Who's your favorite artist?
Yeah, let's see.
Right now?
Right now.
Maxo Cream.
Okay. People sleep on Maxo Cream, man.
Hey, I like him. Yeah.
Maxo and Remble, I'm trying to get them two on a track. Like that's what we need.
Shout out to the boys out there.
So you're trying to get him on a track. Does that mean you're gonna be on like your DJ Khaled?
I just want to get him on a track with Remble. I don't need any credit. I just want them to like put a song out because I think it would be lyrically incredible. And I don't think that music is as inspiring as it could be right now.
For sure.
There's a few people who are doing it right that I really appreciate. And I'm like, come together.
Yeah.
Right, there it is. Okay.
But of all time though, who is your favorite like artist, your hip hop artist of all time?
Lauryn Hill.
Man, that
was my first musical, and anything that I bought myself, it was a cassette. It was Miseducation. Like
absolutely. Even matters. So okay. You better hit that note.
That's my favorite song, man. I'm gonna be honest. That's my favorite song.
I thought we were waiting to decipher at the end.
I had to jump in quick, you know.
Yeah. So you mentioned divorce earlier. Number one, when people talk about, there's such a negative stigma towards divorce. It's like, well, who did something wrong, or you know what I'm saying? When really that's not always the case. And I think the more we talk about it, we can normalize. Like sometimes stuff just doesn't work out. You know what I mean? So what did you learn about yourself?
Oh, absolutely. I learned that I couldn't create anything to anyone else's last name. I was just energetically blocked. I couldn't make anything without having my own name.
Once that last name changed, man.
And let me tell you, in New York and maybe a lot of other places, you have to get your ex-husband's permission to take your dad's last name back. Beware, sisters. Beware. Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
What?
I never knew about that.
So you just stuck with if he say no, you just kind of stuck with the last name?
Oh,
hell no.
That's not fair, man. That's not fair.
New York, y'all rules.
Like, New York, y'all need to change the system, change the law right now because it's not fair. Take your name back out there in New York, please.
Right, because you know these spiteful people be like, nah, keep that. You know what I mean? Like
that's how you know people are not growing, bro. Like when people,
for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Share that with people. Think it's like marriage is so enlightened today. I'm like, no, it's not. No.
See, that's where that control come in right there, man. I feel like the control part of it is. Thanks.
I got you. So, what is your favorite absolute poem in your book? Yeah, I made you do it. Let's get it. What's your favorite? Like, if it's one that resonates with you the most, which one is it?
We're gonna go to page 98.
Let's
All
go.
right. Saints follow us to 98.
We're going to chapter 98.
And you're gonna read it.
I'm gonna read it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read it. Oh,
Yes,
okay. Well, let's go. Let's dive deep in this. Put your seatbelt on. People say I love you in different ways. Put your seatbelt on. Did you eat? You can't control how someone shows love.
Oh, we having a little poetry night, y'all. Okay,
Come on,
okay,
man.
yeah. I got one. I got one. That really resonates with me. So scripts. I was in second grade. The lady was like, "Yo, son, you need pills. When you're from the hood, you get paid when your kids take pills. You get a check from that shit. How many poor parents put their kids on pills? Ritalin.
You know what's
Listen.
crazy?
I was one of those kids. You know what I mean? I work in a system where I serve those kids, so I know. Like,
Let's speak on it.
so it's real, and kids from the hood are the first to be. You know, they look at kids and, well, he's too energetic. Let's put him on Adderall, ADHD medicine.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's 6. He should be jumping around. Like, what? It's normal. Like, he's a 6-year-old boy. He's gonna jump around and have fun. Why does he have to get on medicine? Or when a kid is sitting in a classroom and he doesn't understand your teaching style, and because you think that something is mentally wrong with him, you put him on pills, and now he's labeled with a learning disability. So, just a quick story about me. My senior year, I did terrible on tests my whole life. Like, I failed tests. So my senior year, I was 18 years old. I took a test and they told me I was partially dyslexic and had ADHD. So my freshman year of college, they allowed me to get like this special time where I could take tests by myself. And for me, it's like, so y'all gonna make it easy for me to cheat because y'all don't know who y'all dealing with. But I say that to say, like, I declined the medicine. I declined the extra time. I didn't want that stigma on me. Like, oh, now it's kind of like, oh, now I got an excuse. Nah, I'm going to dig in these books and make this work because I don't want y'all just prescribing me medicine that's going to turn me into a zombie. I watch kids I work with. I need their natural energy. I don't want you to put them on medicine before I come get them. And then they just sitting there like this the whole time. Yeah. And it's a difference because I've had them in both, you know what I mean? And it's sad because it's like putting them in prison. They can't be themselves because of this medicine that's prescribed to them because they're a little hyper from being excited about life. That's the purest form. The child is the purest form of life. Like, that's before all the bullshit gets in. Right. So, yeah, that's my little spiel. Yeah.
Since we were in the conversation of medicine and therapy, and it is an important conversation, I just wanted to read one more from that chapter. You don't get people in the rehab ward for crack cocaine anymore or for heroin. It's prescription medication. They're coming in addicted to tramadol. They're coming in addicted to benzos, diazepam, lorazepam, whatever it may be. Whoever prescribed that to you in the first place is now the professional treating you to get off of it.
Man.
Can I talk my shit?
I know it's heavy, but it's poetry.
That's crazy because I know somebody that was on stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just to watch them go through that, man, it hurt me to see them go through that. And then going through the process of getting off of it was like even harder. And it just touches you. And this right here just reminds me of, like, bro, like, people are suffering in silence through drugs and things to help with depression. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
I'll be having to ask Chris to give me green light to talk my shit because this is one topic that really be pissing me off. So can I talk my shit, Chris?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
Let me turn one time.
Go ahead.
So to all the judgmental people in the world, there are other instances where people get on drugs because of different circumstances. So one being, it's a fact that doctors have overprescribed narcotics that change you. So I met somebody who I had asked a question like, how did you get to this point? And the lady said that she had been hit by a car and she was already dealing with, the traumas of not having money to really live the lifestyle she wanted to. And a doctor prescribed her Percocets, and she became dependent on the Percocets, but the Percocets never took the pain away. During her life, she went to other substances. And, for me, it's like people are so quick to judge, and there's stories. There's countless stories of professionals who have let us down. You know what I mean? Professionals who know that these drugs shouldn't be given to certain, or shouldn't be given in general. And I know there are people who go in who can say, hey, this hurts, and they'll just prescribe whatever the strongest medication is just to get them out the way.
You know what? I am gonna read another poem from here because I think you would really like this chapter. And I do want to read the intro to this just because it's a heavy topic. Mental health doesn't always have to do with medicine and therapy. Sometimes it has everything to do with it. And so as you go through, there's more, but I wanted to add that sentence, you know, because I don't want to, as we're picking just a couple stories here, I want to make sure that people understand that this chapter, it does explain where there's overprescriptions, and it also explains where the system is, you know, messed up. But it also talks about how, you know, people are all thinking it's very common to see a doctor if you have a cough. It's very common not to see a therapist if you have trauma. You know, so there's this DIY thinking. There's this, we see loads of dentist signs. We don't see many therapist signs. You know, I have a poem in there that's called "For White People," and it, you know, talks on. You're telling me I have to sit with a person who has no idea, doesn't know the furthest thing about me. It's understandable why people would think, you know, therapy for white people. So we talk about it in all different facets, not just anti.
Right.
But, you know, one of the last poems in the chapter, I will quickly skim over. It's called Capitalism. A person dies. You're able to get prescribed medication for things like bereavement, which is a natural thing, human emotion that people go through and experience, always have. They want to label and make everything an illness, so they're able to distribute more medication, because ultimately the goal is money. That's the root of it, you know. And that poem is pointing to the fact that today, if somebody dies, which is something that we've always dealt with in all of history, you can now go get bereavement pills to deal with it. I think when you going full circle to that conversation about Ritalin, it's why today there are so many people that don't trust the vaccine, right? To make it sure, is because in second grade, you knew not to trust the systems that are meant to represent your health.
Absolutely,
that's true. Absolutely. But you know what it really is, man. You know they trying to get paid, because the most expensive these drugs are, the more they get paid from putting them out there.
I mean, it's $1 trillion industry. There's no secret. Drugs. It's $1 trillion industry.
Why you think they so scared? I don't know this off subject, man, but why you think these folks so scared of legalizing marijuana everywhere in the world? Because it can doggone help out so many people and clear so many doggone things that people may go through, and it will cut out the industry of drugs.
But you know, and then on the flip side, right? Because marijuana is a perfect example of a heavily self-medicated gift, if you want to call it. And that flower, when you self-medicate, especially from, for example, the age of 14 years old, in the medical field, do point and speak to a lot of people that end up in later years of life having psychosis and these types of things. So I do also like to be careful, because I know this like pro marijuana, like I'm there with you. But when it comes to the conversation of mental health, you know, any type of alteration is, you know, a choice. And I don't think we should normalize any of it. I think that it's like, you know, if marijuana were as legalized as, you know, all these medications, then I'm sure there would be healthier explorations of how it can be used as medicine. But because it's allowed, people are just using it however they like, self-medicating, and there are mental side effects that come with every type of mind-altering substance.
And I don't think we ever went down that that way. That was
a lot of people don't go into detail.
And it played both sides. It wasn't just like we were just pro one side on all of the everything that we've written.
Judgment, you know. It's
for
like,
sure.
We can't destigmatize these conversations if we're judging and we're continuing to judge one side or the other.
For sure.
Right.
I love that you guys have gone on this journey with me today.
Absolutely.
I'm there. The energy is there.
You have a poem queued up?
Yeah, I sure do. And we're going to dive deep into television. Why are people shooting so quick in the first place? Is the fear of the officers they poison already? You know, I talked to white people before. They be like, the only thing I ever know when I see a black kid was, he a thug. And I never even got a chance to meet a black person. But when I turn on the TV,
damn, man,
the most powerful outlet that we have had in our generation.
yeah,
we not thugs.
And let's talk about the fire that it has started. Television.
You being an activist, what kind of got you into that? Because that's people think that like activism is just you speaking, but they don't realize like that's you putting your life on the line for what you believe in. Mm-hmm. And if we look at history, activists get the worst. You know what I mean? In some instances. So what made you get into it?
No, I don't think it was getting into it, to be honest. I feel like gotcha. I sort of came into the world, as I'm from a family of refugees, so when I came into the world, I just very early on knew that things were not good. And I come from a lineage of activists. My grandfather's a martyr, my great grandfather's a martyr, people that, they chose the hill that they would die on, and they did. I sort of compare activism to, if you were to compare it to like the Super Bowl, right? It's like if you thought of a bunch of athletes that showed up to the Super Bowl once a year and no other day did they show up, it wouldn't look so good, And so marching daily is this ethos of taking that passion of a protest and the like vehemence of a march and being able to actually apply to your everyday efforts towards your dreams, towards your community. And it's what I believe about activism. I don't think that there's this raw approach to it. I've seen people do it. You see people do it. I'm not interested in it. I feel like also being raised Muslim, in the, faith that God is always watching. Activism is how you treat people every single day.
For sure.
Yeah.
Where you put your money. It's, it's a lot of internal work. And I don't think people realize activism is as internal work as, just being out on the streets and, giving out sandwiches. I also want to know, how about you? Like, what got you into the work you're doing?
I grew up and I grew up a statistic, and I realized that people don't fight for the statistics, regardless of what it is. Like those numbers that the people see on the news, and who's fighting for them. And I realized like we label leaders, and sometimes leaders that shouldn't be labeled leaders. So I wanted my work to speak for it, but I was also, when I chose this route, I also knew what came with it, and I accepted it. You know what I mean? I know that what happened to Martin Luther King. I know what happened to Malcolm X. I didn't care. It was more or less like, if I'm a go knowing that I fought for my people. I spent a lot of time at the bottom, and I'm more comfortable at the bottom than I've ever been in any other situation. And so when people judge kids, when people are judging people who are poor, I've been there. I know the truth. I like to say I'm the vessel for the people, because everything that I say, I don't make it up. I use the stories that I hear, and I talk to the kids. And when people are making these rules and laws for the kids, I want to be the person that, puts their voice out there. Don't make no rules for them if you're not talking to them.
You've been holding that down since UAB, bro.
Bro, I'm living it, bro. It ain't going nowhere. Like as much as I wanted to run from it, it kept following me, and I knew, like, okay, it's time. And so, I was just building on it.
Bigger than you, man.
Yeah.
It's bigger than you.
Man, this has been dope. I'm gonna let you know, hey, this is dope.
Good luck to your future guests.
Right. Tell them again. Beat this.
Come on with it, man. They gotta tap in differently.
Right. Can y'all hold up y'all books? Because I want to tell the people, hold them up.
Let's get it.
Go buy this book right now. Go get it. You need it. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Yeah.
Okay. You could get me on Instagram. It's Yelda, but the E is a 3, so it's Y3LDA. That's the best way to contact me. I'm not going to just start being like, and my email, with my Twitter.
Right.
That's my Instagram, but also Outlet is available on Amazon. You guys, God bless you for creating the space and sharing your platform for meaningful conversations, and I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you
coming on here to bless the show. You know what I mean? We appreciate your energy, your presence, your peace.
Thank you for your time.
And welcome to our safe space.
And stay connected.
Yeah.
Let's get it!